So who is Wolf Kanagushii? Well, Wolf actually is kind of a Chad, to be honest. He's like a bantamweight up-and-coming youth champion or something, or he is the youth champion in Japan. Something pretty cool like that. I don't remember. He's pretty interesting. When he's first introduced, at least in the anime anyway, he is a total villain. He is like an evil piece of shit. He's really horrible. Joe fights him once actually to get his attention, like, "Hey Wolf, I want to fight you. I'm just gonna taunt you until you fight me," which is a hilarious sequence, which results in Joe just hitting him with a cross counter, and everyone's like, "Whoa, who's this guy? He's so cool and epic, amazing." Actually, I think that's before he fights Nagaki. I think it is. I think it's before he gets his pro license. And he fights Wolf at some point, or is it? I swear it's before he gets his pro license. No, because he fights Nagaki, doesn't get his pro license, then he goes to fight Wolf, I think, and that's when he gets his pro license. I think it's from the Shiraki gym, or they come and be like, "Hey Joe, we'll give you a license," and Joe's like, "Fuck off, wench," because he hates Yoko. It's actually unbelievable how much he hates her. But yeah, and then they fight at some point. Joe hits him with a triple cross counter, wins the fight. Then he hears on the news that Wolf has a broken jaw and can't fight anymore. Wolf then is seen next as like a Yakuza bodyguard. Gets into a fight with Gondo, who is like a big Yakuza enforcer. And then he gets like knocked out or is on the floor, whatever. Joe comes in, obviously saves Wolf by beating up Gondo, which is crazy. And then it's after that, I don't know, because in season 2 there's the whole like kind of weird arc with Wolf like scamming people out of money. That's an episode which is pretty cool. And then obviously near the end, as I mentioned before, there's the bit where they go for drinks together before the Jose fight. Wolf does, I think, either way in the manga as well, does watch Joe fight Jose. He does come for that, which is pretty cool. I don't know about the scamming people thing. I think that is just for the show. And I assume that the whole them going for drinks as well, I assume that is also just for the show, which is a shame. But the show season 2 adds a lot of really good moments that unfortunately I think should have been in the comic, because they are such good moments. So good at building the world and so good at like just building the characters. But no, Wolf actually has pretty decent, at least in season 2, it's a kind of a crazy redemption arc actually. Being an evil piece of shit, having all this stuff happen to him. I mean, Joe breaking his jaw is pretty messed up, to be honest. But you know, that's the world of boxing, in it, really. And then, yeah, that's just kind of what it is, to be honest. Wolf gets some pretty good treatment, a lot better than people like Inagaki, and especially a lot better than people like Kim, who honestly deserves a lot more. Even Aoyama, I think. If Aoyama lived with them in the slums, I think Joe, Nishi, and Aoyama would have been a pretty good friendship group, to be honest. Wolf in the SNES game is a menace to society, frankly. I cannot stand him. He's, in my opinion, one of the most difficult opponents in the game, just because he's so annoying. All he does is throw out jabs, so he keeps baiting you into cross counters. That's all he does in the fight. But like, he can easily stun lock you, and the problem is he's so weak. He's the weakest character in the game, and it just makes him such a pain. Oh, this actually, hang on, I just thought this might be interesting for the tier list. I put Wolf at the bottom of A, below like Rikishi and stuff, because he can counter the cross counter, but he's a slow boxer. He's like the only character that's not a cross counter user to counter the cross counter, but like he's a slow boxer, so that kind of limits him a little bit. I mentioned before about like how, you know, cringy childhood shit. Oh, I have stories to tell. I won't tell all of them, but I will go on with my YouTube stuff as a kid, because that is hysterical. Not only did I do the amazing epic thing of the DVD tower to film my floating TV. for that YouTube channel, I was called Lime Dude, and my friend was like something Lemon. Lemon Man and Lime Dude is what it was, because we were both fans of Gaming Lemon. And that's where it was. I was Lime Dude. Then I was a different name, which was my real name. Or did it? Who knows? It did use my real name. I won't say it. But I used that for a long time. And I did a playthrough in like year 7 of Harry Potter for the PS1. Way before it became a meme. And it was terrible. In one of the parts, I ended up slagging off, which is British slang for insulting. I was slagging off someone in my year. Terrible move to do that on YouTube. Especially when people know that you have a YouTube channel. Terrible move. It wasn't even like a bully or like a horrible person. He wasn't a horrible person. I actually like the guy. They're really cool. I really like them. And we got on really well, especially in college. Because we ended up barely speaking in high school, but then in college we did drama together. We're on the same course. And we actually got on really well. I like them. Very cool people. Very cool people. Very cool person. But also in that same playthrough in the last ever part, which if you know Harry Potter for the PS1, it was the part of the game where you're in Gringotts Bank, and it is the most bullshit difficult thing in the entire world. It is the worst video gaming thing. The worst thing in the game I've ever played in my life. Terrible. I can't even put it into words how difficult and how frustrating that is. And I wasn't even going for 100%, which is actually infinitely harder. But even doing it normally is like absurdly difficult. Terrible, terrible thing. But like, oh my goodness me. And I said something, and it was basically me like making a joke at how my friend fancies this other girl. But I said both of their names. And I remember afterwards doing like I should not have said that. Like Hagrid actually does, I think, in that film. I was like, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. I did that. Thankfully, I cut that bit out. I didn't cut out the bit in the previous part where I was slagging off someone in my year. I did cut out that bit though. I think it was just because I fancied the girl. I think that was it. Oh my goodness me. But another thing I did was in like year 7 was there was an Instagram account that was like, give me your password and I will give you V-Bucks. No, give me your password and I'll give you infinite money in GTA 5 online. And I did it. And like something happened. I don't know if it took money from Dad's account. I don't know what happened. Something did happen. Because I know I did put details in. I might be misremembering that, but I swear I did that. Because I was such a moron. And it's like, oh my god. I dread having to be a dad. Because if I was like this as a kid, goodness knows what my children are going to be like. Isn't it crazy? Like how... I don't know how like old you guys are. I frankly don't really want to know. Because it doesn't really affect me. Why would I care? But like, people my age, it's so weird how many of them made YouTube channels. Especially when I was younger. Like, it was ridiculous, actually. So many of them. People I would never have expected to make YouTube channels made them. Some of them have gone to like streamers, this, that, the other. Just it's weird. It says when I said before in the other video when we were talking to the screenwriters. That's a story in of itself. Don't know if I can discuss it, but I probably will. They were like, it's a rite of passage. Because it basically was. It was like a rite of passage of like, yeah, you know, making a YouTube channel. It's just what you did when you were like growing up in the early 2000s. The golden age, the days of YouTube poops. Duck Song, Harry Potter, the ticking noise, Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore. Hang on, I can't cross counter this. I'm supposed to be able to cross counter him. I can't cross counter his rope move. Okay. I've just thought of a new tier list placement for Joe 5. He would be top tier because he has a way to just completely negate the double cross. And he's doing it again. It seems your Wolf can counter the cross counter, but it seems that you can't do it if he uses that specific version of it. Alright, Wolf. Tell me. What's your pose? That is such a bad pose. Is he laughing at the end? I assume so. Oh, goodness me. These are getting worse.